Welcome to my channel Learning History Made Easy. In today's video, I will be explaining about Ramanujacharya and his philosophy. Before going into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time or if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share it with your friends. So without wasting time, let us get into the video. So as I have told just now, today's video is about Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya. His time period is from 1017 to 1137 century era. So Ramanujacharya, first we will see about the life of Ramanujacharya. He was born in 1017th century era at a place called as Sri Perumbadur near Chennai. Sri Perumbadur near Chennai. So that was the birthplace of Ramanujacharya, Sri Perumbadur near Chennai. Now who were the parents of Ramanujacharya? His parents were Keshava Somyaji and mother was Kantimati. Parents of Ramanujacharya was Keshava Somyaji and Kantimati. He was educated in Kanchi. His education was done at Kanchi. Education was done in Kanchi, and his teacher, or you can say his guru, was Yadava Prakasha. So his education was done in Kanchi under the tutorship of Yadava Prakasha. So Yadava Prakasha was the tutor or the person who imparted education to Ramanujacharya. So Ramanujacharya was born in 1017th century era at Sri Perumbadur near Chennai. His parents were Keshava Somyaji and Kantimati. He was educated in Kanchi under the tutorship of Yadava Prakasha. So this was the early life of Ramanujacharya. Now in the next point is he got married at the age of 16. So his marriage was in the age of 16, and his wife's name, the wife of Ramanujacharya, her name was Tangamma. So he got married at the age of 16 and wife's name was Tangamma, and he was discontented with family life. Ramanujacharya was, even though he got married at the age of 16, he was discontented, or we can say he was not satisfied with family life. He was discontented with family life, and because of that he left his family and he became a sannyasi. So he became a sannyasi after his marriage. So he was discontented with family life and he left his family and he became a sannyasi. When he became a sannyasi, the head of Srirangam Mutt, that is Yamunacharya, that time he was the head of Srirangam Mutt. Srirangam Mutt was there, and the head of Srirangam Mutt was Yamunacharya. This Yamunacharya actually wanted Ramanujacharya to succeed him. That is, he wanted him to take over Srirangam Mutt after his time. Yamunacharya wanted Ramanujacharya to succeed him or take over Srirangam Mutt. So Ramanujacharya got married at the age of 16. Wife's name was Tangamma. He was discontented with family life and he became a sannyasi. Yamunacharya, who was the head of Srirangam Mutt, wanted Ramanujacharya to succeed him. That is, he wanted Ramanujacharya to take over the responsibility of Srirangam Mutt. But before Ramanujacharya could reach near Yamunacharya passed away. But later Ramanujacharya became the head of Srirangam Mutt. Ramanujacharya became the head of Srirangam Mutt. So as the wish of Yamunacharya, Ramanujacharya became the head of Srirangam Mutt after the death of Yamunacharya. And he popularized the principle of Vaishnavism. So the principle of Vaishnavism was popularized by Ramanujacharya. But the problem was, this principle of Vaishnavism popularized by Ramanujacharya, it was not liked by Kulothunga Chola. Kulothunga Chola did not like this, did not like Ramanujacharya popularizing Vaishnavism. Why? Because Kulothunga Chola was a Shaiva. Because Kulothunga Chola was a Shaiva, he did not like Ramanujacharya popularizing Vaishnavism. So Kulothunga Chola was the king that time, he was a Shaiva. So he did not encourage Ramanujacharya. Because of this, Ramanujacharya, what he did, he left Srirangam and he came to Karnataka. Ramanujacharya, he left Srirangam because the king was not supporting him and king did not encourage him, and he came to Karnataka. So Ramanujacharya became the head of Srirangam Mutt after the death of Yamunacharya. He popularized the principle of Vaishnavism. This was not liked by Kulothunga Chola, who was a Shaiva. Because of this, Ramanuja left Srirangam and he reached Karnataka. So in Karnataka, now Ramanujacharya reached Karnataka. In Karnataka, during that time, the king was Hoysala king Vishnuvardhana. Hoysala king Vishnuvardhana was the ruler during that time. When Ramanujacharya came to Karnataka, Hoysala king Vishnuvardhana was there and he welcomed Ramanujacharya. And because of this, Ramanujacharya, what he did, he established the Vaishnava Matha at Melukote. He established Vaishnava Matha at Melukote because he was encouraged by Hoysala king Vishnuvardhana. Ramanujacharya stayed in Karnataka and he established the Vaishnava Matha at Melukote, and there Ramanuja stayed almost for 20 years. Okay, in Karnataka, Ramanujacharya stayed for almost 20 years. Then when did he return to Tamil Nadu? He returned back to Tamil Nadu after the death of Kulothunga. After the death of Kulothunga, then only Ramanujacharya went back to Tamil Nadu. And Ramanujacharya finally died in 1137 century era, and he died at the age of 120 years. Now some important works or some important books of Ramanujacharya. One is Vedanta Sara, another is Vedanta Sangraha, Gita Bhashya, etc. Okay, these were the books of Ramanujacharya. So in Ramanujacharya left Srirangam and he came to Karnataka. There he was welcomed by Hoysala king Vishnuvardhana. Ramanujacharya established Vaishnava Matha at Melukote and stayed there for 20 years. He returned to Tamil Nadu only after the death of Kulothunga Chola. Ramanujacharya died in 1137 century era at the age of 120. His important books or works are Vedanta Sara, Vedanta Sangraha, Gita Bhashya, Sri Bhashya, etc. All these were the important books of Ramanujacharya. Now just let us see the points which we have studied till now regarding Ramanujacharya. He was born in 1017th century era in Sri Perumbadur near Chennai. His parents were Keshava Somayaji and Kantimati. He was educated in Kanchi under the tutorship of Yadava Prakasha. He married at the age of 16 and his wife was Tangamma. He was discontented with family life and left his family and became a sannyasi. Yamunacharya, the head of Srirangam Mutt, wanted Ramanuja to succeed him. But before Ramanuja could reach there, he passed away. Ramanuja later became the head of Srirangam Mutt and popularized Vaishnavism. This was not liked by Kulothunga Chola, who was a Shaiva. Ramanuja left Srirangam and came to Karnataka. He was given shelter by Hoysala king Vishnuvardhana. Ramanuja established a Vaishnava Mata at Melikote and stayed there for 20 years. He returned to Tamil Nadu after the death of Kulothunga. He died in 1137 century era at the age of 120. His important works are Vedanta Sara, Vedanta Sangraha, Gita Bhashya, Sri Bhashya, Vedanta Sutra, etc. Now let us see the philosophy of Ramanujacharya. The philosophy of Ramanujacharya is called as Vishishtadvaita philosophy. Vishishtadvaita philosophy. That is the philosophy of Ramanujacharya. So Ramanujacharya propounded the philosophy called as Vishishtadvaita philosophy, and the followers of Ramanujacharya, were called as Sri Vaishnavas. They were called as Sri Vaishnavas because he popularized Vaishnavism, so his followers were called as Sri Vaishnavas. They gave importance to the worship of Sri or Lakshmi. So the worship of Sri or Lakshmi was given importance by the followers of Ramanujacharya, or we can say by the Sri Vaishnavas. They gave importance to the worship of Sri or Lakshmi. And what did they believe? They believe that Sri or Lakshmi is a mediator between God and man. Mediator between God and man. So the person who sends the message from man to God is the mediator. So Sri or Lakshmi was considered as the mediator between God and man. So that was the belief of Sri Vaishnavas. And he condemned the Mayavada of Shankara. So that is, he condemned, or we can say that he was against the Mayavada of Shankara. So in last video we have studied about Shankaracharya. There we learned that Shankaracharya said that the world is an illusion or Maya. But Ramanujacharya was against that concept. That is what here it is said, he was against the Mayavada of Shankara, or he condemned the Mayavada of Shankara. So Ramanujacharya was a propounder of Vishishtadvaita philosophy. His followers were called as Sri Vaishnavas. They gave importance to the worship of Sri or Lakshmi. She is considered as a mediator between God and man. He was against, or he condemned the Mayavada of Shankara. Now let us continue the teachings of Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya said that God exists. He said that God exists and the world is true. World is true. This was against Shankaracharya's philosophy, because Shankaracharya said world is Maya. But Ramanujacharya said God exists and the world is true. And he considered Paramatma as real. So according to Ramanujacharya, Paramatma is real. Paramatma is independent and permanent. So according to Ramanujacharya, Paramatma is real, independent and permanent. That was the belief of Ramanujacharya. And he also said that soul and the world are both dependent on him. That is, dependent on Paramatma. So that was the belief of Ramanujacharya. So according to Ramanujacharya, God exists and world is true. He believed that Paramatma is real, independent and permanent, and the soul and the world depend on Paramatma. They both depend on him. The soul does not have independent existence without God. That is, soul cannot exist without God. Without God. Soul or Atma cannot exist without God. That was the belief of Ramanujacharya. He advocated Bhakti Marga to attain salvation. According to Ramanujacharya, to attain salvation, you have to have Bhakti. Okay, so Bhakti Marga was the only way to attain salvation. Salvation means to attain moksha. So if you want to attain moksha, you have to have Bhakti. Bhakti Marga is the only way to attain salvation. So that was the concept of Ramanujacharya. He said God exists and world is true. Paramatma is real, independent and permanent. Soul and the world depend on him, and soul cannot exist without God. And according to him, Bhakti Marga is the only way to attain salvation. So he said that Bhakti can be or Bhakti has two elements. So according to Ramanujacharya, Bhakti has two elements. There are two elements for Bhakti. So which are the two elements? The first element is called as Prapatti. The first element is called as Prapatti, that is surrender to God. Surrender to God. So first thing is you can surrender yourself completely to God. That is the first element of Bhakti. The second element is called as Acharya Abhimana. Acharya Abhimana. That is subjugation to Guru. Subjugation to Guru. So either you can surrender yourself to God, or else Acharya Abhimana, that is subjugation to Guru. These are the two elements of Bhakti, and this Bhakti is needed to attain salvation or moksha. That was the concept of Ramanujacharya. And Ramanujacharya gave opportunity for temple entry. Opportunity for for temple entry to all devotees. That is, to all devotees irrespective of their birth. That is, irrespective of birth means we can understand without the differentiation of caste, class, anything, anyone can enter the temple. That was what Ramanujacharya said. He gave opportunity for temple entry to all, irrespective of birth. Whether they are born in high class, low class, rich, poor, anyone can enter the temple. That was the idea of Ramanujacharya. And he called the untouchables. That time there was a class of untouchables, that is lower class people were called as untouchables, but Ramanujacharya called them Tirukulatar. Ramanujacharya called them Tirukulatar or Sri Hari Kula. Sri Hari Kula. So he said that they are not untouchables or lower class, they belong to the Kula of Sri Hari, that is Sri Hari Kula or Tirukulatar. He gave them respect and called them as Tirukulatar or Sri Hari Kula. So that was how Ramanujacharya respected the lower class, or he treated everyone as equal. So according to Ramanujacharya, to attain salvation, you need to have Bhakti Marga. Bhakti has two elements. One is Prapatti, that is surrender to God, and Acharya Abhimana, that is subjugation to Guru. He gave the opportunity for temple entry to everyone, all devotees, irrespective of their birth, and he called untouchables as Tirukulatar or Sri Hari Kula. So this was the philosophy of Ramanujacharya. Let us just revise through the points. Vishishtadvaita philosophy. He was a propounder of the Vishishtadvaita philosophy. His followers are called as Sri Vaishnavas. They gave importance to the worship of Sri or Lakshmi. She is considered as a mediator between God and man. He condemned the Mayavada of Shankara. Ramanuja said that God exists and the world is true. He considered Paramatma as real, independent and permanent. Soul and the world are dependent on him. The soul does not have independent existence without God. Ramanuja advocated Bhakti Marga to attain salvation. There are two elements in Ramanuja's Bhakti Marga: Prapatti, surrender to God, and Acharya Abhimana, subjugation to Guru. He gave opportunity to temple entry to all the devotees irrespective of their birth. He called the untouchables as Tirukulatar or Sri Hari Kula. So now let us see some important questions regarding this part. Name the philosophy of Ramanujacharya. Vishishtadvaita philosophy. Who was the Hoysala king who gave shelter to Ramanujacharya? Vishnuvardhana. When and where was Ramanujacharya born? He was born in 1017th century era in Sri Perumbadur near Chennai. Who were the parents of Ramanujacharya? Keshava Somyaji and Kantimati. Name any two works of Ramanujacharya, Vedanta Sara, Vedanta Sangraha, Gita Bhashya, any two you can write. Describe the life and teachings of Ramanujacharya. Answers explained in the video. All the points given under Ramanujacharya's life and his philosophy you will have to write for this answer. So I hope you have understood the points regarding Ramanujacharya very clearly. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, because your likes and comments will be of great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. I hope to see you all soon in the next video. Thank you for watching.